Venn diagrams. In a Venn diagram that looks like this, the type of statement that you can make is that no students are taking both journalism and a world language. Since the two areas are completely separate, there are no students taking both of those electives. In this type of Venn diagram, we have the weightlifting and the ceramics are overlapping a little bit. So we can say statements like, some of the students taking weightlifting are taking ceramics, and some of the students taking ceramics are taking weightlifting. In a Venn diagram like this, when the orchestra circle is completely inside of the world languages circle, we can make a couple different statements. All students in orchestra are taking a world language, or some students taking a world language are also in orchestra. In this type of Venn diagram, we have the band and choir are overlapping, but they're both fully inside of the world languages. So we have quite a few statements. Some students taking a world language are also in band. Some students taking a world language are also in choir. Some students taking a world language are in both band and choir, and some students taking a world language are in neither band or choir. In a Venn diagram like this, as you're seeing everything put together, one of the conclusions you can make is that there are no students taking more than 3 electives. So at most, a student can be taking world languages, band, and choir, but they are not taking any more than that. Generally speaking, when you're looking at a Venn diagram, you should be able to fill in the blanks for these 3 types of statements. No blank are blank, some blank are blank, and all blank are blank. Now, in the examples we worked with today, we're talking about electives at school, and you know what all of these categories are. However, sometimes you're going to get examples of Venn diagrams with things that you might not know what they are. I could have just as easily named these Willywomps and Zorps and Orgos and just make up names for any of these, but still, based on the way that the Venn diagram is set up and how these are either fully inside, overlapping, or completely separate, you should still be able to fill in the blanks to these 3 types of statements. So you don't actually have to know what the terms are, just how to read a Venn diagram. Now let's take a look at this problem. It says, in a class of 50 students, 18 take chorus, 26 take band, and 2 take both chorus and band. How many students in the class are not enrolled in either chorus or band? So we know that in the entire class, we have 50 total. Okay, so inside of this entire thing, we need to have a total of 50. And then we know that there are 18 of them in chorus, 26 of them in band, and then 2 are in both chorus and band. Now, we want to be careful because these are overlapping, so when we start assigning numbers, we need to make sure that our math is going to add up. When it says that there are 18 in chorus, that means the entire blue circle of chorus has 18 students. The entire pink circle of band has 26 students. But the very key part is that we know that there are 2 that are right there in the middle. So first, let's represent that overlap. There are 2 students taking both. Then, from the total 18 that are supposed to be in chorus, if we have 2 taking both, how many are supposed to be in just chorus? So we would take that 18, subtract the 2 that are in both, and then we're left with 16 students in chorus. Now we're going to do the same for band. In that whole pink circle should be 26. We've already counted for 2 of those kids that are doing both. So we can take the 26 total in band, subtract the 2 we've already counted, and then we'll be left with 24 students that are in just band. So now the question asks how many students in the class are not enrolled in either chorus or band. So for that, we want to take that total 50 and then subtract all the students that we have already counted. So that's the 24, the 2, taking both, and the 16 that are just in chorus. So when we add up the students that are taking band, chorus, or both, it's a total of 42 of them. And when we subtract them from the total kids in the class, which is 50, we're left with 8 students that are not doing either. And that will be our final answer. Okay? So here's another example. I want you to go ahead and pause, write it down, try this one, and then check back with me when you're finished. Follow the example we just finished working on if you get confused. Once you've written down all your important pieces of information, the total number of students, how many are taking English composition, how many are taking chemistry, and how many are taking both, we're able to start labeling our Venn diagram and figuring out how many students are in neither class. So we always start off with that overlap. We have 5 kids that are taking both. And then we want to take the English composition, the total, and then subtract those 5 kids we've already counted for. So from the 14 total, if we subtract 5, we end up with 9 English composition students. And same for chemistry. We have a total of 29 chemistry students. We've already counted for 5 of them. So 29 minus 5 gives us 24. Now, that final calculation from the total number of students we have, we want to subtract all the ones that are already counted for. So you should get an answer of 2 students. So we only have 2 students that are not taking English composition and or chemistry. Hopefully you got that right. That's it for this video. Make sure to submit any questions you have on the website, and I'll see you in class.